Good morning and welcome to Plannercraft. If anybody can see me yet, or hopefully you can hear me.
Yep, there you go.
Wonderful. So good morning and welcome to Plannercraft. My name's Ian and I'll be doing this stream this morning.
It's a bit on the slow side over here.
That's okay, that's fine. Don't be afraid to say hi. Let me know that you're watching. Morning, Deb. So I'm going to be doing a little bit on Canvas this morning, and just going through doing some bulk production and some other bits.
All relating to questions that we've had.
Answering a few questions. If there's any questions that you do have, do pop them up in the chat. Morning, Louise. And hopefully we'll have a productive morning, he says. Yeah. Now, it does look a little bit different this morning. I'm on a different computer, so hence it looks a little bit different to where we normally are. Morning, Maggie. So I've updated my Canvas. It is the most up-to-date version, so I have done the most recent update. And hopefully, in the moment when I click this, it's going to change what you can see. And you can see my Canvas up on your screen. Morning, Wendy. Yep, does that look good?
Yep, that looks good.
Cool. Morning, Linda, as well. So we're going to start with some bulk creating, so how you make a bulk invite card if you're doing lots of project. Yep. So I thought for this, I do some hearts. And I'm going to put two of those on. Morning, Tracy. Let's put another one up. One of the new features I like is it now puts the shape that you're dragging onto the mat actually with you, as where before you just sort of dropped in a random shape. Actually, I didn't want to do that. I changed my mind. So
You're allowed to.
I'm allowed to. It's my choice today.
You're an honorary natty today, so.
Yeah, changing my mind's my choice. Yeah. We just make sure everybody can hear me okay, and I'm nice and clear this morning. If somebody can just drop me a note just to say whether you can hear me okay or not, that'd be great. I can see the comments, so I'll put them up separately at the side. So you can't see, I can see the comments, I can't see them. So what I'm going to do is set up the pieces I want. How did it go, Carol? Carol was trying out the cold foiling from Mist is your... Yep, clear here. Yep, that's cool. So that's good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do an offset, but I'm going to do it inwards because I want it to do a
order.
Oh yeah, like a. So I'm going to select this to inward, and I don't need 5mm. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. So let's put that to 2mm. Round is good. Leave the original as is, and go OK. And then we can see I've now got an inset on the inside. So now I want to separate that out. So I want to move my smaller one to the side. Morning, Delcy. So I'm going to move that back up into this top corner and this one next to it. So this one I'm going to have as my cut background, and then this one I'm going to do all my drawing and other bits on, so it cuts around the outside, then I'm going to put some text in the middle. So let's pop some text in first. Could not get it to Ungroup on Scout and don't have a USB to send to Canvas, so I did it in Canvas. I had to do an offset to get it onto black card, but not too bad, even for me. I'll pop a picture up for us so we get a chance to see it in one of the groups. Couldn't get it to ungroup on scale. So.
If ever you can't find that you can ungroup something, you can always divide it instead.
There you go.
Regardless of software.
Yeah. Morning, Chris. So this one already has my single line font selected, or has single line font, which is cool because that's the one I want. And then I'm going to put another one. It's going to be probably a little big. That fits nicely across there. Let's center that one a bit. And another one. And that up the top there. There we go. So if I think, yeah, I like that, and I want to recreate
Lots of them.
Why you wouldn't, you never know if it's making cakes or if you're making lots of cars that you're going to sell. So first things first, I want to make My Sweet Valentine all as a draw line rather than cut. So it can foil that for me. Sure you can. I'm then going to group it all. I'm then also going to resize it. Oh, why is it not grouped the My Sweet? Why?
Check before duplicating that it's all grouped.
No. That should now all be grouped. There we go. So it should now resize all of it together. So now I'm going to shrink this down. As you can see, it keeps it all in proportion for me. No, it was good enough to do that. I can move it up into this top corner. Yeah, almost got it wrong. It's almost a good start to the day. But then if I want to duplicate that, I can press and hold Alt. And I can just pull it across. And as you can see on my bit at the side, it's duplicated that layer. And brought in another one. Another way I can duplicate down here, I can click duplicate and it brings in another one. And I can pick that up and I can move that across. And of course, if we're thinking that it would fit better if I flip that up the other way, we can do a flip like that and go, actually, I'll get more out of it if I do that way. And then that one, we can duplicate to go inside that one. Oh, that's a little tight. I may just have to move that one across a bit more. And that one across. There we are, so then we got 4. Pick up all 4. we can group those briefly and then duplicate. And if we press Shift, it will lock it to a constraint. And again, press Shift, locks it in. And yeah. And suddenly we have, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 that I can cut in one go. And we can make lots of cards of the same, and they will all be identical. Even though some are upside down, and it'll write them upside down. That'd be quite weird how it's going to write those.
Cool.
Yeah, cool, because it'll still do it, and it'll still look the same when you turn it the right way. It should read correct. So that's a quick and easy way that you can swap your. You can do bulk creations, really quick and easy, and just make it fit to your mat nicely, and get the most out of your machine whilst it's cutting. Of course, if you have the 12 by 24 mat, we can change it so it's the larger mat, and then you can do even more. We get another full set of 24 on there, so you probably get 48 to a page. So if you really wanted to bulk produce, it's a good way to bulk produce. And so I'm missing my mornings there. So morning Rachel, morning Carol, and morning Lindsay as well. So any questions on that for the moment? Whilst I'm here. Does that make sense? And we know that each layer, so each one of these, if I go back to my layers, all my text is written. And all my shapes are cut. So the hearts, it will cut all my hearts out, but all my text it will draw. And that's the same in each of the groups. No, that's not it for the day, that's just the first. I'm just doing a bit at a time, that's all, rather than doing getting ahead of myself.
Oh, blimey, that was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. I'm not finished yet. So in all of these, we can see that they're all set up the same.
You didn't think I'd let him off that lightly, did you, Carol?
Carol's was just checking. So that's one way of doing your bulks, and the other reason I do it that way is if you do them side by side, rather. So you could just do the heart, one set of the hearts, and then one row of the text, and you'd probably get more to your mat because you get another heart in there, and that way you get another 1, 2, 3, maybe. The upside down hearts look as if they would be back to front writing.
It's probably an optical illusion.
Yeah.
Turn your head upside down.
Let's test the theory.
Let's have a look. Yeah, you got back to front here. Useful if you're doing like dice up though.
Oh, I need to turn my arts up the wrong way.
You need to pick. Just do this with horizontal or vertical, whichever it is. I always get the two mixed up.
I'll go back straight. Thank you. Trouble is, they're all like it now. So, see, rookie mistakes. That's why I make these mistakes for you. See, saves everybody else doing it. So let's delete these two underneath. And let's go to this one and ungroup it. Put all those together. And let's... No, it's all right, Rachel. You don't have to say sorry. So, we want that one. that one, and that one. And we can go into
It's
properties.
easy to make the mistake though if you scale it in the wrong way.
And then we can swap that around. And then we can do the same with this one. Go back into our group. Let's make sure we get the right one. Yep. So those three properties. It's an easy fix. There you go. And my text will be the right way around. Yep, that's it. I mean, I wouldn't have sent it to the machine and I would have got Nat to check it for me because, you know, I used forever making silly mistakes like that. And what I've just noticed is that Valentine has moved over just a little too much. I can move that one across. And then that one across. There we go, so that puts those in the right place then. That looks better. Reads right now. It's close. So there we go. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's an easy way to fix as well. Like I said, all I did was select the text, and I used the flip. So in our edit function here, we have the flip, and just flip the text horizontal. I didn't have to change the heart. The heart was already right. It was just the text that was wrong.
That's because the heart's symmetrical.
Yeah. Got him paranoid. I'm not paranoid. I'm just saying what I've done, just in case. So again, then to duplicate, we can just select them all, group them, and then we can use Alt and Shift to lock in line, and then Alt, Shift. There we go. That's back to how it was. Only with me text the right way up this time. So that's that one. So the idea being the matte and layer, so you can cut your one heart out of a nice red, and you can cut this out of a pink, but you could then foil your text onto each one. So as I was saying earlier, you could probably get more onto the matte. Like I said, if you separated these individually, you could probably get another heart up there, another heart in there, another heart in there. So you get three. Probably wouldn't get much more than that. So you probably get another one out of it if you wanted to. If you just had it as an individual, you could put one of the hearts in there and one in there. But you'd have to make sure you knew which ones you'd put in. That's all right, Carol. You're welcome. It was your prize for your... which one was that?
Christmas card, wasn't
it? Would I go back now and change the groups? Probably not for the design. Because I know each of those pairs make up one. Rather than splitting one pair up, I'd probably not change it. I'd probably leave it as is. Doesn't
mean if I want to do like another set with something else as the message.
Well, you could, yeah, but
yeah, the difference being it's not like Affinity where you can create it as a symbol, isn't it?
No, you have to change each one. So I could change each one of these individually to say something different, and then you'd have lots of hearts doing something different. But I mean, you could go in just to one group. Pick the heart and say, right, I want another one of those. So I can duplicate just that heart, and that will fit. Let's turn it up the other way. That'll fit in there. And then we can get another. Let's do it the other way. Where's one the right way up there? Another one of those. We can duplicate all of that. And then we could take that up the top. There you go. Yeah, you could do it that way.
What's the question?
Tracy was asking if you want to do all the left hearts one colour and the right hearts and the words foiled separately, you'd send them differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other option.
As it's a group, you'd have to ungroup it all and regroup it so that you had all your right layers grouped instead.
The other way. So as Tracy's just said, so we can send just one bit then the other. We can ungroup. Oops, sorry, it's not good with the microphone. Apologies for that. Didn't mean to. So let's go there and ungroup. So ungroup everything. And ungroup the groups. There we go, so that's everything individually now back on the mat. So now you could go through and say, right, I just want these hearts. So you could use, can you use command and just select? So I just want those hearts. And we can group those as one. And then we can group everything else. And group that. So then when you send it to the machine, you can just send the layers you want to send. So you can send that layer, and obviously then you can respace it a little bit. So like that one's overlapping a little bit. So if we go into our group and just find the one that is. And just edge that over a little bit so it's not touching anymore. And then we can send that to the machine like that. So that way then you'd have your two layers. So you could go print that one, and then you can turn that one back on. And then you could have that one sent to the machine second. And what you could do once you've got it onto your machine, obviously you could realign it so it just uses up the top half of your mat rather than all the space that we've got in there. That makes sense. Because the machine will sort that easier than the Canvas can.
At the moment.
Yeah. So that would sort that issue out. Is that what you meant, Tracy? Hopefully. Yeah, you could do double the amount then, because you'd be able to duplicate however many. So if you then went back to that one, turn off this one, you could get more on because you just line these up across the top and across the bottom. So if we go back into the group and we get that one, let's see if we can get the ones I need. No, I didn't want that. That one, two. 3. Put those two in, take one out in the middle. If I then go to a line and and make some pretty borders. And then went out there. And I don't do that. You could move them all around manually, but I'm not going to play. Otherwise I'll be there all day. So I don't left it there. So that's one. Would I put the text on a separate layer? Probably not. I would leave the text on a same layer for the reason that you want them to stay within your shape. So if I put the text on a separate layer, I stand a chance of it being in the wrong place once I've cut it all, because I would foil first, then cut it out anyway. So I would just leave them together on that layer. So I wouldn't put the text on a separate layer, because otherwise you'd be the risk of mismatching where you put your text, if that makes sense. Yes, my distribute was off slightly there, so that's why that didn't do that. What else did we have? Text, wasn't it?
Yes, text and drawing.
Text and drawing. I think that makes sense. Cool. Let's turn off these layers rather than delete them, because I quite like that design. So, text. Somebody asked about text, and why it would use up a lot of ink if you're doing a particular font, drawing it rather than font. So when it comes in its standard, it comes in as your antique Oakland, which is what it comes in as every time until you change it. And somebody said, well, if you fill it, it's going to take up a lot of ink to fill it. Which, yep, I can sort of go with that, but is it as much as it would printing it? Maybe not. So you don't have to have a fill on it. So if you have your on a PC or a Mac, on the PC you have the option which has no fill, or on the Macs you can just turn your opacity down. So if I turn that up, you can see it fills it black. If I turn it down, it goes to this line through the middle, which is like a no fill on the text. Your other options is go for a more scripty single line sort of font, so like the one we already had. So therefore, if you were doing it with foil, you probably wouldn't bother to fill that because of the so close lined. And then of course we have our scripty font that we love, which is ours, which is a single line font. So therefore, it actually handles it as single line now, dear. So therefore, when you send it, it will only draw the single line. So this is our font, and this is available from Buy Me a Coffee. What did I want to do? I want to do the character space. I don't find. If I drop that back just one, it links up the letters a little bit. So as where before we had the gaps between these letters, I find it writes it a little bit better if you have that bit in the middle, if you just drop it back one. And that way your font is only going to draw single line, and it will look nice and clean when you foil or draw your words. So that's also the same font that I was using in the love hearts on the other page. But there are lots of fonts you can get. Ours is actually coming through as a true single line now, which is great. So anybody who updates their canvas will get the true single line font like it's supposed to be, which is cool. The other thing, if you're worried about the amount of ink that you're using on your machine, you can set your fill to a different pattern. So of course you can always set it as the line pattern, so you can do lines across, vertical, horizontal. You can do the like the small triangles, but just be careful because it can knock out the calibration of your machine if you do a lot of the triangle ones. It just tends to knock the calibration out slightly. So if you use that pattern a lot, I think it's patterns 4 and 5 on your machines when you're doing the fill options, they do tend to knock out the calibration on the machine. So the only other thing to mention is to make sure that if you're drawing or want text, you set it to draw. And a lot of people, when they send things to their machine, if they do it from Canvas, what people don't realize is anything you bring into Canvas automatically comes in as a cut line. And if you then send that to your machine and ask it to draw, you won't have anything on your screen because it can't see the cut lines as draw lines. And it's one of the biggest mistakes people make with Canvas, is that when they go into send it to the machine and they haven't changed it from a cut line, and they, I want to draw that, and it's got a blank screen. The whole design just disappears, and they go, oh,
what have I done wrong?
What have I done wrong? And all it is they just need to set it as a draw line. Yep, we've all done it. We've all sent it and gone, draw, and it's gone, it's not there.
Usually on a live stream.
Yeah, we've done it a couple of times on live. So it's one that
even when we get one, okay.
Yeah, it's easily forgets to do. So the important one is just to make sure that either up here where it says draw, you change that to a draw line, or if you do it over here, you've got the operation properties here. I'm going to say it's one of the most asked questions on the Facebook pages. Yeah, absolutely. That's one we get asked a lot. And the other place you can change it is here as well. So if you click here, you can change it to cut or draw, the same as you can anywhere else. So you have your 3 places. You can even do it up in your file if you want to. You can do file and I think, which one is it? Is it edit? Yeah, edit and line operation, and you can change that between cut and draw in the edit at the top as well. You can't see that off the top of my screen, I think it's off the top. And I've only got it showing the screen. So does anybody have any questions on text? You want me to show you quickly text on a path and how that works as well? I don't mind.
You like demonstrating that one, don't you?
Yes, you can also change it in bulk as well. So if I go back to one of my groups, if I think, wow, all these really need to be draw lines rather than cut lines, let's turn off the text for a moment so you can't see that. You can, on the group, at the top here, you have to use this one to change it. But if I then go to draw, it will change that entire group to draw. And we can change it back. So if you have a selected group and you think, oh, I need that to draw, then you can change all of it to draw or all of it to cut. But beware, if you have, like I have in this one, bits that are draw and bits that are cut, it will change everything. So if you've got bits that you want left back, you have to go back and change the individual bits back to cut on each group. So just be wary of doing that. If you do change by the group rather than doing it individually, that if you change all of it, it changes everything. So if you have got something that you didn't want set to cut, so like I've got the inside hearts, which are slightly smaller, set to cut, it would change all of those to draw or all the text to cut as well. So I'd have to go back and alter those individually. So let's bring in a shape and let's put it around what should we go for a change? Give me a shape, Nat.
Um,
I'm going to try one of them.
Oh, a fan.
A fan. Mm-hmm. So say we have our fan. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because it's a bit small for my planner craft to fit across the top. It's a nice way of doing an arch rather than having to worry about doing a circle and drawing it around that, you can just use the fan shape. So I'm then going to also select my text. I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to use this button here, which is Fit to Path. You silly thing.
What's it done?
Put it on the bottom. So, easy way to change this. This little X here is where it starts. So then you pull this round to where you want it, and it will start. Where you want it to. So that looks about middle. I can also now go into my properties and I can align that. So if I want it in the center, it goes, yeah, I'd rather center it that way. Left is that way. Right is that way. It's still not the best. It doesn't really do that properly. It never has. It's a bit daft. But then I can change where it puts my text and how it reads it. So I can put middle. I can put it underneath. So if I now go back to my left and it puts my text that way, it likes to play with what it does with it. So let's put it back to that one. Let's put it back up the right way. But you can also change your path direction. There you go. So if we want it the other way up, but at the bottom, we can make it so it looks like it's the right way. Although I would probably put that one middle now. And that way it sits back on our line nicely. And we can have it nice V shape just by reversing the path. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay, that's going. Not on this one, I'm afraid, Carol. That's as big as I can make it, I'm afraid. It's because we're using different software today.
Different computer.
Different computer, yes, because I'm on the old big computer and streaming directly from there. Which buttons was I missing? If you can tell me which one I missed, then I can go back and just circle it for you a bit better. I don't know if I can set the zoom up on this one to make the... let me just check something quickly. Bear with. Okay, if I press... Let's see if that... Does that make it a bit more legible if I do that? I know it doesn't make the actual font any bigger, well, the actual icon any bigger, but it actually tells you what each one is. It's not coming up, is it? It's not reading it through.
No.
Okay. Doesn't make a difference.
Maybe do audio description instead.
Nice trying. But no, because of the software we're using today, it's just the way the software works, unfortunately.
Because I've been to the other computer to
record. Nat is working, so she's got me. Although she is here quietly in the background, sneaking. She's working. So that way we can do our shape, and then when we're finished, I wonder if I convert that into shape now, if it makes the text. No, it's left it a solid line. Yay. It's left it as a single line, sweetie.
Yay, hallelujah.
So they fixed the bug because it used to try and make it a shape. So if there's, like I said, hopefully that looks nice, and then we can move that around if you get your mouse in the right place. Yeah, that's all right. The window I opened was only it was the system accessories, so it was one out of the reason I didn't want. Did everybody see the colours tab, or can you not see that again because it's not opened it properly? I don't think you can you? Because it opens it as a fresh tab, it doesn't open it as a...
Yeah, I think it just hides it away, rather than... If you go on properties though, it should show you the currently selected colour.
Oh, yeah, you can't add it to over here, can we? Can't see it, no. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. Let me... No, okay. Let me change how it views. I'll be back in a minute. Entire window, share, and then go back to that one. So let's see if you can see that one better. Just wait for that one to catch up. Come on, catch up.
I'll get there eventually.
No need to apologise. It's fine. That's plain silly stuff. No, I don't want to stop sharing. Okay, put that way. That's better. And then go back to... How's that? Let's see if that works. Yes, thank you, Tracy.
What's that?
So I need to shave. There we go. So this is the colour palette I was saying about earlier. I can make that bigger. So with that a little bit bigger. So when I was saying about the colour and the fill, we can change the colour, and because we have the opacity right up full, if we did a shape, and say we want that green. Yeah, it's me lockdown, look, yeah.
That's his excuse and he's sticking to it.
So fill colour, green, and there we go, it puts green. As I was saying earlier, if we wanted to change the opacity, we can turn the opacity right down, or we can have it fully up. Now if you do that on a PC, you have the option of no fill, and it looks more like... It doesn't look like any of these. It's more boxes like this, but they're set out across rather than and one of them will say no fill underneath it. Just because this is a Mac, it's got the crayons rather than the because they're pains in the bums, really. They're different. What was the link that got put up, or is that you?
No, I've not put any links up.
Okay.
Not me.
Not you. No. That's all right. I thought somebody did.
Well, I can see.
No, okay. So those are your colours anyway. And that's the way you can change them. So hopefully that's helped everybody. Are there any questions before we go? Anything you'd like me to show you? No links. No, okay, that's fine. I'll get Nat, or I'll pop up a link in a bit for the font for you, for the single line font. I'll pop it up in the group just so it's back up so people can get it if they'd like to. Is £6, I believe. Yeah, £6. It's a one-off purchase, and it downloads direct from the Buy Me a Coffee page.
And there should be another 2 going up shortly, shouldn't there?
Yeah, we're putting some more up as well, so if you keep an eye out for more fonts, DT can keep an eye out as well, because they'll probably be going into their group first.
Because we're nice like that.
Yeah, it's nice like that. Is Nat free for a quick message?
Not at the moment, I'm recording.
Nat's recording at the moment, but pop it through, Tracy, and I'll pass it on. And if I can answer it, I'll answer it. And if not, it's usually me that answers them anyway, so. Isn't it, dear?
Well, you usually ask me and I tell you what to type.
Well, exactly, yeah. I tend, yeah. She tells me what to type and I answer it, so thank you, you've learned a lot. Yep. Okay. So any other questions before we go for today? Don't forget, Lou is on at 12 with her Mindful Moodling, and you have Leslie from Chocolate Baroque on at 12:30 as well. She's doing a demonstration today, I believe. Can't remember what of, but I know she's doing a demonstration. So do pop along to those and have a watch. Lou's has been great the last couple of weeks, so she's been doing the Mindful Moodling. So it's always worth
getting out of
your head. Yes.
Yeah.
It's quite a good.
Some circular templates should be well away with that one.
So hopefully, if there's nothing else, we'll see you all tomorrow. I think Nat will be back tomorrow, won't you?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Okay. Also, we might do a short live just after 2 o'clock as something's happening that hopefully we can show you all. And we want to share with you all. So we might pop on at 2 o'clock just to share and show. So we look forward to seeing you all then. So have a great day. Stay safe. And we look forward to seeing you all soon. And I need to get back to my other one. Yeah, no, not that one. No, that one. That's the one. So, thanks very much, and bye.